శ్రీరామాయణ శంఖారావం మహాసదస్సులో నేటి అయోధ్యకు బాలరాముడి ప్రయాణం అన్న అంశంపై అద్భుతంగా ప్రసంగించిన మన రామనారాయణం ఆడబడుచు, practicing advocate at the Honorable High Court Telangana and Honorable Supreme Court of India, చిరంజీవి టిఎస్ శుభ రాజేశ్వరి మువ్వ గారు హైదరాబాద్ నుంచి విచ్చేశారు. వారు ఎంచుకున్న అంశం లా ఇన్ రామాయణ.
Namaskaram everybody. Ramayana is a poetic effulgence composed by sage Valmiki, which describes and personifies the deeds and actions of Rama, his lineage, and the lineage of Sri Ramachandra Prabhu, whose ancestors have been walking in the path of Dharma only. Dharma means a duty imposed on a person, personalities, and institutions to be within the four corners of the established principles. Ramayana contains several examples and details pertaining to the Samanya Dharma and Vishesha Dharma. Let us delve deep into the subject of my topic, Ramayana and law, as it offers the profound lessons of justice, governance, and societal ethics, which resonates with the contemporary laws and the legal system. The very first incident and encounter of Sri Ramachandra Prabhu in the Balakanda clearly mentions that Lord Rama was unable to unleash the arrows onto Tataka because she belongs to a woman community. So, the sage Vishwamitra Maharshi, in the capacity of an acharya, guides him to do the needful as to yajna was meant and performed for the welfare of the humanity, and there shouldn't be any distinction on the grounds of gender, race, age, and any other considerations when it comes to upholding of the dharma. Oh Rama, dharma is the supreme principle in this world. Considering the righteousness, it is your duty to annihilate Tataka, as she is the embodiment of the evil. This is the eternal law of the world. Protect the virtuous and punish the wicked. Such an act is sanctioned by dharma. All knowledge, righteousness, and your family values converge in the destruction of Tataka. Your actions will uphold dharma in the truest sense, says Vishwamitra Maharshi. Rama at a very young age could be able to understand the essence of dharma and unleashes his divine celestial weapons onto Tataka and just simply slays the Tataka. So, coming to the contemporary legal points which exist now, as an advocate, my topic is law and Ramayana. I will have to mention the provisions which coincide with the current Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita, and other certain provisions of the Constitution. While exercising the rights of private defense and welfare of the larger community, the authority who is permitted to do such an act has gotten immunity, says the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, which speaks volumes from section 34 to 44. And Rama will be falling under the purview of section 34 to 35, which is right to defend body and property, movable or immovable, protect against theft, robbery, mischief, criminal trespass, and etc. So Rama is already in the legal purview. Now, another interesting thing which can be encountered in the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita is that defense leading to death, section 38 and 41 also applies to Rama, because death allowed when facing grave threats like fear and death grievous hurt, or crimes like robbery, kidnap, and includes housebreaking at night and mischief by fire. Everything was done by Tataka. So it is very appropriate to quote these sections today. Not only the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, also the Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita chapter 11 discusses about maintenance of public order and tranquility. It is the duty of the state. State back then was Lord Rama himself. So now in the modern times, it is the duty of the state or the government or the central government to maintain the peace and public order, tranquility. And also certain other provisions of the Constitution of India clearly mentions that it is the duty of the state to protect the citizens and ensuring the public order. See, I want to just illustrate an example with a appropriate example. A child is found with a time bomb, assuming for a minute, and he's employed by terrorists. So in such case, the police authorities or the government will have a special power of taking that life of that person also. Even if it is a child, even if it is a woman, even if it is of a downtrodden community or anybody else. So that is the nyaya, just being able to protect the people who are innocent. And moving forward with the second instance, I want to quote from Ramayana. When Rama was supposed to be coronated as the Yuvaraja, a day before the coronation, Dasaratha Maharaja summons Lord Sri Rama, makes him sit on a throne and at his chamber and explains the righteous deeds of Ikshvakus, their practices of Pitruvakya Paripalana, and even a single word which comes out of their family, it becomes a customary law to them, because they are Pitruvakya Paripalakas and Satyavak Paripalakas. As it is a customary law of them to follow the instructions of their ancestors, and whatever the path they have chosen, it could not be brittled or broken. Dasharatha also in this instance clearly mentions about the Charuchaksha Vidya, which is now adopted as the various other things in the law I will clearly mention when it comes to the criminal law. Because a king without gathering information cannot convict, the wisdom finds parallel to the contemporary laws and principles, as accused can be arrested based on the information, investigation, collection of evidences, and then only the opportunity to plead, and then the acquittal or the conviction can be pronounced. So this entire essence of the criminal law was mentioned by Dasaratha Maharaja way back centuries in the Adikavya Ramayana. You can see the procedure just for your knowledge. This is the steps, these are the steps which will be followed in the criminal law. I would like to go in detail with the exact mentions of Dasaratha Maharaja. So connections with the legal system. Dasaratha imparting wisdom to Rama as on aspects of dharma and impartiality. In the contemporary society, when we look up into the Constitution of India, Article 14 of the Constitution of India guarantees equality before law and ensures that the governance is rooted in the fairness and impartiality. Similarly, Article 51A emphasizes the duty to uphold the ideals of the justice, liberty, and equality. Praja Rakshana mentioned by Dasaratha Maharaja, instructions to Rama to prioritize the welfare and the subjects equated to Article 21, which is the right to life, and personal liberty, which is the entire soul of the Constitution. The state has the duty to protect the life and liberty of the citizens. Dasaratha highlighting the justice without discrimination. Article 15 of Indian Constitution prohibits discrimination on the grounds that religion, race, sex, or any other caste, gender, and place of birth. Dasaratha advising Rama to consult wise ministers for effective governance. This is something which we have to have deep focus on. Because in the parliamentary form of government which we are following in India, it ensures that executive works in the consultation with the legislature And the section 3 of the Bharatiya Saksha Adhiniyam, which was priorly known as Evidence Act, contained the highlighting the expert opinions in the legal and administrative matters. Such a way forward thinking of Dasaratha Maharaja while explaining the Charuchaksha Vidya. Because in the criminal laws, usually, it is not just enough if we have all the evidences. We also require expert opinions. That was propounded and passed on to the Sri Ramachandra Prabhu, that taking the expert opinions and experts of the ministries which they have was completely amusing to us as an advocate when we read the Ramayana. Attracts several other laws like public accountability laws, anti-corruption laws, and etc., which will take a lot of time when we explain in detail. So these principles of Charuchaksha Vidya explained by Dasaratha Maharaja continue to guide the pursuit of justice in the contemporary society where the origin is visible in the Adikavya Ramayana. I am stressing the word Adikavya only and only because these laws, this wisdom of judicial establishment was not adopted by Britishers. Please, for God's sake, let us not give the credit to the invaders of this country. We, the Indians, have adopted it from our ancient Indians. It is such a disgrace that we are unable to identify ourselves, the wisdom of our country, the entire essence of the Ramayana and other itihasas. It is our failure as Sanatanis. I would like to move forward with the Ayodhya Kanda chapter 30. When Sita was struggling to drape Narachira, Dasaratha Maharaja exercises his right as a sovereign and grants exemption to Sita as considering her as the queen of the Ikshvakus. Here is the overruling of an objection by a sovereign authority. Not only the Dharadhana, but also the Stridhana was evident way before the constitution and other laws came into picture. The concept of Stridhana is now found in the section 14 of the Hindu Succession Act, which we are practicing in the modern times, but it was traceable to Adikavya Srimad Ramayanam. Human rights, woman rights, dignity to woman is portrayed by Dasaratha Maharaja, and respect towards woman and his daughter-in-law, and establishes, like any other father-in-laws or mother-in-laws, which are completely indulging themselves into domestic violence or outraging the modesty of woman. That was never found in the Ikshvaku's dynasty. When Bharata approaches Rama in the Aranya Kanda to return to Ayodhya, Bharata starts degrading Kaikeyi. Then Sri Ramachandra Prabhu chides him by saying that Kaikeyi is as respectable as Kausalya, because she has not done any wrong, as she was blessed with 2 boons. As Dasaratha is the ruler of the Ikshvakus, it is our duty as his sons to maintain the Pitruvakya Paripalana and abide to the boons given to Kaikeyi. Rama defended woman to a very great extent, even though when he was put to such turmoil, he was always and always empathetic towards woman. And now in this incident, it is parallel to the reformative theory in the criminal law. It lessens the quantum of punishment for woman and sympathy and considering protection as to not to arrest women after the sunset under exceptional circumstances. So these kinds of inspirations were drawn from Ramayana. We have to assume that, because I don't want to give the credit to the invaders. Equality before law, the entire soul of constitution. Rama being a great prince, he treated Guha as his friend. Guha belonged to a downtrodden section of the society. This equality is enshrined in the constitution as article, in the Constitution and the preamble clearly mentions justice, liberty, equality and fraternity. Justice, liberty, equality and fraternity. To my sense, I believe that only Sri Rama has completely obliged and accomplished the entire essence of the preamble. This is the Constitution of India and the first page of the Constitution, which shows the preamble. Surpanaka, the next incident I would like to quote. Rama was very clear about Ekapatni Vrata, and he is the first revolutionary leader to condemn bigamy. Bigamy is having a partner other than the spouse, which act is now known as illegal act in India. It was propounded by Lord Sri Rama in the Adi Kavya itself. Rama goes to an extent of cutting the ears and nose of Surpanaka only and only because she wanted to eat Sita. He did not kill her because he utilized the reformative theory, self-defense, proportionate punishment and other such criminal justice and other such provisions which we are now utilizing in the criminal justice system. The quantum of punishment was reduced because she did not eat away Sita. Maybe if Sita was eaten away by Surpanaka, then Rama could have given the quantum of punishment in a great extent. Coming to the very interesting incident of the Srimad Ramayana. Rama does funeral to Jatayu, which reflects the profound respect for sacrifice, duty and compassion. Rama's universal equality, dignity to death, respect for Sarvaprani conveys timeless values of humanity. As I already mentioned, Article 14 explains the equality before law. But coming to the very, very important law, which we are now in practice, is that martyrs law and tributes law. Lord Sri Ramachandra Prabhu was the first person to recognize a sacrifice of a bird who was trying to protect a woman's dignity. Lord Sri Ramachandra Prabhu has recognized and honored the Jatayu bird, and he has done the funeral rites to the bird. It also gives us the other views and lenses to the Environmental Law, Protection of Birds Act, Protection of Animals Act, and etc. Rama was such a strategist. Rama is a diplomat. Rama diplomatically sends Angada to Ravana as a messenger of peace, which emphasizes his commitment to the justice and ahimsa. Ahimsa was learned in the Indian national movement, but way before all these leaders emerged into this Bharata Bhumi, Lord Sri Rama was the first person to practice and show the humanity about non-violence. Rama's skills of peace negotiation before a conflict coincides with the conciliation, arbitration, mediation and negotiation, which are now known as alternate dispute resolutions. These align with the principles of ahimsa and modern international laws that prioritize peace, resolution and disputes. The ambassador immunity. Angada as Rama's envoy is treated as an untouchable messenger, a concept that is parallel to the modern principles of diplomatic immunity. Coming to the Vienna Conventions on Diplomatic Relations, which were given in the 1961, please stress the years, 1961. Lord Sri Rama was the first person to send a messenger which echoes the idea of protecting the diplomats from harm, even in the hostile territories. The proportional response. International humanitarian law stresses that military action should be proportional and preceded by efforts to avoid conflict. Rama's efforts to resolve the conflict diplomatically by sending Angada to Ravana before initiating a war with Ravana, demonstrate the adherence to the proportionality. Right to communication, Article 19 of the Constitution. It ensures the freedom of speech and expression, whereas Angada's right to deliver Rama's message without obstruction is a precursor to the modern principle. I think I'm running out of time. I have other topics which have to be dealt. So maybe one small thing I would like to quote. Sundarakanda deals with entire criminal law, the entire beauty and essence of criminal law as to how the spy system works, how the investigation goes on and every other thing. Sometime maybe when I'll get another chance, I will try to explain the other aspects of that Sundarakanda and other, why how Sita has done the Agni Pravesha and all the other aspects in relation with law. I would like to conclude, definitely. The present Indian and international laws, format could be different, but the formula was given by Lord Sri Rama, says my father T.K. Sridhar, advocate. The constitutional moorings of fundamental rights, the fundamental duties, the directive principles of state policies, the justice, liberty, equality and fraternity, all the words, everything is actually very well visible in the deeds and actions of Lord Sri Rama, who chose the path of Dharma and only Dharma all times. The Constitution of India proudly portrays Ramaraja in the part 3 of the Indian Constitution, which speaks volumes about fundamental rights. Ramayana is an epitome of Dharma, followed by law. To understand Rama and Ramayana, one must understand human conduct, and conduct is the way of life. The extreme dimensions of conduct and its hues and flavors have been revealed by Rama and his associates too, by always abiding to the principles of natural justice. Kingship, political activity, education, geography, administration, governance, everything which has link with the modern society can be emulated from Ramayana. With one last point, I would like to conclude my presentation. Once you follow Ramayana, knowingly or unknowingly, you follow law. Once you follow law, you will be righteous. Once you be righteous, you will have no dispute. Once there is no dispute, there is only peace. Once there is peace, there is no need of courts and advocates like me. I would like to extend my gratitudes to the NCS, Narayanam Temple trustees, the Thavaasmi Trayam, Sriram Garu, Sharada Garu and Janvi Garu, my dear friend Gauri, for giving me this opportunity and making me a part of this noble cause. Looking forward to be here very soon back. Thank you so much. Jai Shri Ram. Jai Shri Ram. Jai Shri Ram.
మన సెక్షన్స్ గురించి, లాస్ గురించి, రామాయణాన్ని కనెక్ట్ చేసి ఇంత చక్కగా వివరించిన మువ్వ గారిని, శుభ రాజేశ్వరి గారిని సత్కరించవలసిందిగా నారాయణం కుటుంబ సభ్యులు శ్రీనివాస్ నారాయణం గారిని, రమ్యశ్రీ గారిని, గౌరీ నిత్య గారిని కోరుతున్నాం. We want advocates like her. Yes or no?